Hey y'all, it's Pam with Living in Charlottesville. So you're thinking about moving here. Hold on a second. Charlottesville is gorgeous, but it is not for everyone. Today, I'm going to give you the real reasons, actually 7 of them, that you may not want to move here. Trust me, I grew up here. I'm a local realtor and I have seen both sides. So let's dive in. Okay, so if you're researching a move, relocating, or retiring to Charlottesville, you want to get the whole picture, not just the pretty vineyard photos, the Chamber of Commerce fluff. This video is going to be for you. You're going to want to make an informed decision and avoid the surprises. All right. By the way, if you're coming into town, say for a position interview at the University of Virginia, then let's chat before you get here. I can help you maximize your visit and decide really if this is going to be the place for you. Your Charlottesville journey starts here. Let's chat. So, number one, first up, cost of living. It is higher than a lot of people expect. Housing, number one line item. If you think about your budget when you are doing your budget, whether it is you by yourself, whether it is you and a significant other, whether it is you and dependents, whatever it is, normally your largest line item is your housing. Well, housing here on average is 10% over the national average. The median, right now we are in the mid 2025. The median price here in the Charlottesville area is well over $500,000. And that's even if you can find something. I want you to take that into consideration because, again, there's a reason it's number one on my list why you might not want to live here. Property, now talking about the whole cost of living, property taxes aren't cheap, but they're also not as bad as many places. And actually, this is one some people consider a savings if you're coming from an area such as the very, very northeast where there are extremely high taxes, or the West Coast where there can be extremely high taxes. Our property taxes aren't the worst. Our property taxes aren't the worst in Virginia, but they're also not going to be the cheapest either. Food, utilities, insurance, daycare, all of those are going to be line items. Now, in average, those are going to be on par. I will say from the feedback I've gotten from many of my clients, daycare has a tendency to run high as well. And if you're one of my fabulous folks who rents or is looking at renting here, I don't do rentals, but I think our cost of rentals is extremely high as well. I honestly don't. I think it to me, it would be easier and cheaper to buy than it is to rent, because most of these rents are around $2,500 and they want you to have 3 times the income per month. What? I don't know how people would do that. Okay, getting off on a tangent. I had a couple who was looking at moving here because they're from the Midwest and their thinking was, we will get so much house for our money. What they got was sticker shock. And what ended up happening is after we talked and after I sent them what it was they were looking for, Charlottesville was not the right area for them. Now, I was able to connect them to an agent in another area who I thought instantly came to mind after we had talked and I found out what they were searching for. But Charlottesville was not the area because very specifically of that housing cost involved. If you're retiring, think about it. You're going to be on a fixed income. We need to make sure that we are planning carefully. And no, I don't do rentals, so I can't help you find $1,000 apartment downtown. I wish I could. Shoot, I would be making bank if I could find rentals like that. They're not, you're not going to find it. You might find a room in a private house with utilities included for $1,000, but that's going to probably be as close as you're going to get. Okay, so if you're finding this helpful so far, I would love for you to tap like so I know you're watching. And also, I would love for you to leave your questions about living in Charlottesville. All right, number 2, let's talk job market, okay? Let's talk jobs and job market. Charlottesville's economy is built around, actually, you know what? It's built around multiple entities. It's built around the University of Virginia. It's built around healthcare. It's built around the tech sector and government. Now, full disclosure, we have an even lower unemployment than nationally. Currently, Charlottesville is running just under 3%. 3. Virginia is running around 3.5%, and the U.S. national average currently 4. So again, I bring this up. I cannot help you find a job. Can't help in that way in any aspect. But the reason I bring that up is because the markets, depending on what your job is and what you're looking for, this may be too small of a market, and the unemployment is too low for you to actually find a viable option for employment. So that's why I like to bring it up. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll just find a job. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, we have things such as tourism and we have service industries, but you know what? Those are not going to pay for an apartment or a house in this area. So that's why I want to bring it up, because if you are having to work 2 jobs and then live 45 minutes away, there are better options. And I want you to make sure that we're taking that into consideration. So for example, if you are in manufacturing, we don't have a lot of that around here. We do have some military contractors, but we don't have a lot of manufacturing. Or if it's another kind of niche employment that you currently have, the opportunities can be limited. I had clients come here, move here during COVID, thinking, oh, remote work would last forever. When the company called them back in, they couldn't find a local job that paid the same. So that's the kind of example I want to get across to you. But on the flip side, I also just had clients who closed on their first-time home buyers, and they were up in DC, and her government job that was reorganized and eliminated, she found a better job down here in the Charlottesville area, paying more, and now they have trees, 2 acres, and a swimming pool in their backyard for less than they were actually paying for rent up in the Northern Virginia area. So those 2 examples, that's what I want to get across to you. It's not to say no one can work here, because obviously everybody is working here because our unemployment is so low. But do your homework before you move. And part of that is going to be reaching out to me. Let's chat. Let's see if it's even a viable option for you. I don't want you to waste your time. I mean, seriously, who wants to do that? Time is we are given a set amount of time and we don't want to waste any of it. So spending time in an area that is just not going to work is not a really good use of time. All right, so what's number 3 on our list? Let's talk about it. Number 3 on our list, let's talk traffic, walkability, and the realities. Yes, you see small town photos and you think it's a breeze, right? Quaint downtown pedestrian malls, so walkable, so cute. No, you are going to need a car here. We have public transportation, the CAT system, the Charlottesville Albemarle Transit. The University of Virginia has UVA Transit, but true walkable areas are few and far between. That's why I want you to reach out to me, because if you are thinking, oh, you're going to have easy public transit, you're going to have easy accessible. Yes, many of our neighborhoods are walkable. Most of our neighborhoods are walkable. You can walk on many of our roads, even though they don't have sidewalks. But to be truly walkable, you're not going to be able to do that. There are a few, but again, this is why you need to reach out to me early so that we can keep your search in those parameters. I know offhand less than 5 really truly walkable areas in our metropolitan area. Places where you can live, work, exist, meaning you can do grocery shopping, you can do banking, you can do all your needs, medical, dental, or also have access to public transportation to fill in the gaps. We don't really have a lot of walkable, which is a big surprise to people because they do. They hear all the hype from who knows what, goodness knows what website, right? But they hear the hype and they're like, oh, we want that quaint Charlottesville. Great. You're probably looking at a couple $1 million so you can live in North downtown. That's not an option for most of us, okay? So let's talk if you have a car. Now we're getting into traffic. You've ever tried to drive from Pantops to Crozet at 5 p.m.? Pack a snack. That's all I'm going to tell you. Pack a snack. Route 29 gets clogged. Coming in on the north end in the morning and trying to get out in the afternoons. The bypass, not bypassing enough. And depending again when you are, the bypass can be at a standstill. Parking downtown, well, there's a schlep factor and you need to bring your patience. And don't even get me started on the roundabouts that everyone forgets how to use. I'm just saying, being a defensive driver has a whole new meaning when you get into the roundabouts, especially the new one that is 2-lane. Gasp, you would think that, I don't even know, the venom that has come out of people regarding a 2-lane roundabout. Defensive driving, people, defensive driving. Okay, if you're watching and thinking, well, I work from home, so I never drive. Lucky you, and that can be an option in and around our area because we do have access to fiber internet in most areas. But again, this is one of the things we need to consider because also I know places in the city of Charlottesville that they actually have to have boosters for third-party internet. So we have to make sure if internet's important to you that we keep that high on our list. But if you have kids, you have to commute, or you just like going out of your house, then you want to know what you're getting into. And that is a car is probably, this is a very car dependent area. Oh, and on that same topic, I want you to think about garages. Just FYI, again, why we need to chat, because I want you to know the full picture and see Charlottesville, if Charlottesville is going to be the right fit. We don't have a lot of garages. Now, some of our newer construction, most of our newer construction that's under about 10 years old, most of them do have garages. But we also have a lot of townhomes that do not have garages. So all of those combined, you need to be aware. I've helped so many clients, and the garage situation always takes them by surprise. So if we're talking walkable traffic, commuting, just be aware. Next reason that I want you to make sure that you know about The town is growing fast. Some love it, but some hate seeing all the open fields turn into subdivisions. You'll hear longtime locals grumbling about the old Charlottesville disappearing. Guess what? It's happening everywhere. But if you think you're moving into Mayberry, you're not. This is Charlottesville, and we are one of the top spots for retiring, relocating, and just having a really good overall quality of life. There is tension between keeping that small town feel and welcoming new growth. You're probably going to see new construction everywhere, from the suburbs to UVA to downtown, everywhere. If you want truly rural living, we may need to look a little bit further out. Now, luckily, the way we are situated, that's actually not difficult, and that it can happen. Actually, we can find rural within 30 minutes of downtown of the University of Virginia. So there are options. But if your mindset is, oh, I'm moving to Charlottesville proper, and I'm going to have a half an acre or an acre lot, realistically, no, you're not. If this kind of real talk is helpful to you, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my, we'll call them lifestyle tips. It's honesty. I've grown up here. I'm a realtor, and I've raised my family here. I went through the public schools. I put my child through the variety of public schools, whether it's public, private, homeschooling, and even the higher education. I am not the Chamber of Commerce for the city of Charlottesville, and I'm not going to tell you that everything is fabulous. I am not going to be here selling you or peddling crap. Sorry. If that's what you're looking for, then you may not want to hit subscribe. But I was helping so many clients relocate here, and I was the source for them to find the honest information. And that's why they are either truly loving where they're living now here or loving where they're living elsewhere, because it's not my job. I want to sell you the truth, and I want to sell you what is going to be best for you. And actually, I don't want to sell you at all if Charlottesville is not the right fit. All right, let's move on to the next thing. All right, what's the next thing I think you need to make sure that you are aware of before moving, living, retiring, relocating into the Charlottesville area? Let's talk about the political and cultural divides. We're going to get spicy and talk tea here. Charlottesville City is a very progressive city, very liberal overall. Surrounding counties, well, as you ripple out, much more conservative. I want to point that out. If you're moving here to escape or be more welcomed, we are that. Absolutely, hands down. That I am not going to blow smoke about whatsoever, because that is just something no one should have to deal with, honestly. We have the full gamut of residents, locations, housing situations, schools, everything that could be potentially a godsend, potentially a respite, better environment. But you know what? There are also some areas that, it doesn't matter which way you lean, but could also be worse. Again, why we need to chat, because I don't want you to be like, oh, I want to move to XYZ. And you're also looking for more inclusive community. Those two may not mesh, and that's why I want to chat with you so that I can give you the feedback. It is not my decision at all, but in general, our entire area, absolutely welcoming and accepting across the board. A big reason I share this is because over the past year, it has probably been the number one relocation question that I have heard from clients as they're coming into our area. So many people just feel absolutely pulled to our area, or worse yet, they feel pushed out of theirs, which is heartbreaking to me. We've had our share of controversies in Charlottesville. We've had our share of protests and heated debates. But for overall, the diversity of opinion is great and welcome. Some people find our diversity can be jarring. Just know what you're signing up for and what to expect realistically. With the University of Virginia being almost like the center catalyst, we have now, we're not diverse like, say, Washington, D.C. or Richmond, because those are huge, huge metropolitan areas. But in general, we have a diverse area. We have very big arms and welcoming attitudes here for sure. And yes, I am more than happy to chat with you about what it is you're searching for, or unfortunately, even what it is you're trying to escape, to see if this would be a good fit for you. All right. Next thing I think you need to make sure that you know, because it can be a deal breaker. Next up, let's talk weather and flooding concerns, because that's the other question I'm hearing a lot, and I want to make sure everybody understands. Let's talk weather. Summers, right now we're in the summer of 2025. It is hot and it is humid. The past week, we've had thunderstorms, midday thunderstorms every single day. They've strolled in, downpoured, made the humidity 5 billion%, curled everybody's hair, and then fluttered out. And the temperature gets back down into the 60s or 70s overnight. So again, hot, humid summers. A big question I get is a lot of questions, though, currently about flooding. Yes, we have a couple of roads that flood fast when there are very big pop-up downpour thunderstorms. And a couple of communities in the outer counties that actually have bridge access to the homes, because they know the drive cut through to their street is probably going to be flash flooded underwater. Not necessarily in our direct community, but in some of the adjoining communities. But overall, we do not have the flooding issues like we seem to be recently seeing so much of the past year, 2 years going on in, say, North Carolina. Now, many of those have been acts of God, so no one could have predicted. And we have had things such as that. Back in 1969, Hurricane Camille, she friggin' came inland, decided she liked the Appalachian Mountains, and she just stayed for a day or two. Well, in that time, she also dumped 27 inches of water, 27 inches of rain in just a few hours. Flash flooding, landslides eliminated small towns and villages in the Nelson and Albemarle County areas. So these things can happen, but we do not build in floodplains. We do not build where there is a risk. Yes, we must know, we must be informed. If you are purchasing and there is a flood zone, flood risk are not always what you see on third-party sites, so be careful about that. But the flood insurance is issued by the government. It is not required. You don't have to have hurricane insurance here. You don't have to have a lot of the different mandated insurances you see in other areas because of weather specific. Snow. Don't get your heart set. We have a couple of close resorts, Massanutten and Wintergreen, and normally they struggle to make snow for their resort just a couple of months out of the year. Now, the flip side of that is This past year was like our one in our 10 to 15 year snow cycles. We actually had 2 or 3 large snowstorms, to us, large snowstorms, where it dumped like 5 to 8 inches, and the temperatures had dropped to the point that it stayed around or it melted and froze. Schools were out for over a week, but that happens every 10 to 15 years. If you are a cold weather baby and love going snowboarding, snow tubing, snow skiing, this is not going to be the area for you. We're just not conducive to it. In general, you are going to be able to enjoy our weather outside 8 to 10 months out of the year. We don't have the snow. So again, if you're a snow baby, snow angel, not going to be the area for you. We have lots of other options, better than snow, but we do not have the snow. We also do not have the flooding that so many places are seeing. So in general, our weather is good, but I want you to be aware of it. Next up, limited big city amenities. Number 7 in our list. I want you to recognize it is last but not least. If you're a big city person, you might get restless here. We have amazing farm-to-table restaurants. We have amazing ton of wineries. And I'm not being silly about that. I'm talking, I think we have over 50 wineries. So no matter if you go north, south, east, or west, you could hit a different winery every weekend of the year. And overall, they're phenomenal. We actually just won Wine Region of the Year 2 years ago, I believe it was. So, and that's not our own fluffery. That was actually awarded to us. Thomas Jefferson, the father of the University of Virginia, the builder of Monticello, his home on the Little Mountain, he brought back the first grapes. He was a huge failure at them, but he did learn and he documented. So then when those came after him, such as the Barbersville Vineyard, fabulous wines across the board, reds, whites, even some bubbles and fizzies. We have all of that. We also have an amazing music scene, art scene, and everything to round it out. We have all of that. But we don't have it 24/7 or every day of the week. Vineyards, yes, every day of the week. Restaurants, most every day of the week. But it's definitely going to be a slower pace, and it's probably going to be rolling up the sidewalk somewhere around that 9 p.m. So if you're somebody that has to have Uber Eats at 2 in the morning, good luck in finding a place that even serves, or let alone will be picked up by an Uber Eats. So just be aware about that. But the nightlife, it's not New York City. And to the person on Reddit, just so you know, Reddit was created here at the Waffle House over on 29, and there's a plaque to prove it. Google it. Yes, it's true. I'm not lying because I don't need to. Anyways, to the person on Reddit who said Charlottesville was not Miami and they were leaving because of that, you had to be smoking crack to even think it was a close similarity. You don't come to Charlottesville for the nightlife. We have amazing options. But that was pretty silly when I read that, and I still remember that to this day. Our airport is small, chill. There are very few direct flights. But you know what? I love our airport because where I live, the airport is less than 5 miles from me. And if I have a 7 a.m. flight, I'm probably going to get my Uber to drop me off at the airport about 6 a.m. because it's that close, convenient, and easy to access. So, pros and cons, which way you think about it? No, we don't have an international airport here. You're gonna be limited. Shopping. Okay, let's just keep shopping under charming. We have what we need. We have plenty of what we need, but it leans more to charming. than to big and bulky kind of things. If I have to get a formal dress, realistically, I'm going to go up to DC, Washington, DC, or I'm going to go over to Richmond because we don't have the shopping in our area. But if I'm looking for a really cute dress to attend the polo match or attend Foxfield races, oh my gosh, we have some absolutely amazing local stores here. And you know what? For some people, that's part of the appeal. If you are an Amazon loving, order everything in, you probably won't even notice any difference. Yes, somebody asked me if Amazon delivers here. Yes, Amazon. We actually have an Amazon distribution center over the mountain in Waynesboro area. So, but if you need and you want 24-hour everything, you're going to be disappointed. Absolutely. So there you have it. 7 reasons Charlottesville may not be right for you. Cost of living, limited job market, traffic and walkability, growing pains, political divides, weather and flooding, limited big city amenities. But every place has its trade-offs. Charlottesville can be absolutely charming, and it is often sought after and often is on everybody's top 5 and 10 list. Best places to retire, best places to raise a family, best places to live. So really, you just need to make sure that you are thinking about your lifestyle and your goals and the quality of life you want. If you're coming into town for, say, a UVA interview, not for school, but for a position, a job, or you're planning a relocation trip, or you just want to figure out if this is a forever home, please reach out, text, email, or call me. I've grown up here. I've raised my family here. I know this town inside and out. I've been here when we moved here, where we moved, my mother had a meltdown because she thought we were living in the middle of a cow pasture, which we sort of were at the time. And now it's one of the most sought after areas because it's so centrally located. Subscribe for more Charlottesville lifestyle tips. Hit the bell so you don't miss anything. And check out my other videos on the channel. Go hit a bathroom break, start another video. I'm honest. It's not my job to sell you anything. It's not my job to tell you how beautiful, peaceful, fantastic Charlottesville is. If it's the right fit, it's the right fit. If it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit, and that's okay. But check out my other channel, or check out my channel, other videos. I have great playlists looking at different communities, different small towns, different neighborhoods. It'll give you a really good deep dive, talking about everything from cost of living to employment to veterinary to school, all of that. Your Charlottesville journey starts here. Let's chat. Let's see if Charlottesville living is going to be right for you. I'll see y'all next time. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon.